Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Stephen Lauderdale. I'm here to give you a Bluetooth technology a little bit on the presentation. Mr. Hamilton handed out some documents there, give you who created it and what the Bluetooth symbol actually stands for and how it became its name. So let's get this started. Is there anything worse than wires? Have you ever hooked up a computer that had dozens of peripherals, like printers, monitors, scanners, cameras, modems, Wi-Fi routers, even keyboards and mouses? Have you ever ran a telephone or a cable extension through your house? You know just a pain that those cables can be. Bluetooth can bring electronic gadgets together so they can share whatever signal they need without any wires at all. Bluetooth is a simple way for cell phone, printers, PCs, digital cameras, and other gadgets to link together over a relative short distance using wireless radio wave technology. We have all used wireless communication by now. Even if you don't realize it, radio receivers and television sets can pick up beams in radio waves hundreds, possibly even thousands of miles through the air. Cordless telephones are similar technology to carry from the headset to the base station somewhere in your home. If you use Wi-Fi, your computer sends and receives a steady stream of data to and from a router that's probably wired directly to your internet provider. All this technology involves sending information back and forth along copper wire cables. I have a short clip here to watch about Bluetooth.
Hi, I'm Kristen Burke, and this is More Wireless. It's a series of brief and helpful modules designed to introduce you to the amazing world of Bluetooth and other wireless technologies. I suppose the first question we should answer is, just what is Bluetooth? Technically, it's the name of a universal wireless standard for connecting various digital devices. But in the real world, Bluetooth is simply a way to eliminate all wires and cables that normally connect devices to one another. I mean, look at any desk or work area. There's a cable from the computer to the keyboard, another to the mouse, and to the monitor. And if I want to transfer pictures from my digital camera to my computer, that's another cable. Sync my phone to my PC, another cable, and it goes on and on. Figuring what goes where can be a nightmare, and you can get tangled up in more than just the details. But Bluetooth is cable elimination technology that lets you cut the cord. So most people are familiar with Bluetooth headsets, but you can now find Bluetooth computers, mouse and keyboard, phones, tablets, cameras, MP3 players, headphones, even games. They're all communicating wirelessly. So how does it work? Well, by transmitting data, not through cables, but over radio frequencies. And each device is embedded with a transceiver microchip that allows it to connect and communicate with other Bluetooth-enabled devices that are within range, which is about 30 feet or so for most devices. Now, don't confuse Bluetooth with the infrared technology you probably have in your TV remote control. With infrared, there can be no obstructions between the remote control and the TV, and an infrared controller can only communicate with one device at a time. Since Bluetooth uses radio frequencies, it doesn't have to be line of sight, and it can communicate with several devices at once without getting confused. For example, I can use my Bluetooth keyboard and mouse while streaming music to my speakers, all wirelessly. At the same time, you're in the same room talking on your cell phone, using your wireless headset, and your digital camera is wirelessly downloading pictures to your laptop. How cool is that? In the end, Bluetooth is simply a wireless, effortless, secure way to connect and exchange information. Make sure you look for Bluetooth the next time you're shopping for electronic devices, because it's absolutely changing the way just about everything is connecting.
Bluetooth sends and receives radio waves in a band of 79 different frequency channels centered at 2.45 gigahertz, which set apart from radio, television, and cell phones, for the use of industrial, scientific, and medical gadgets. So don't worry, you're not going to interfere with someone's life support machine by using your Bluetooth at home. Bluetooth transfers data at a rate of 721 kilobytes, and Bluetooth radio switches frequency at such a rapid pace at 1,600 times per second. The data packets are so small that interference from other RF sources is highly unlikely. Bluetooth short-range transmitters are one of the biggest plus points. Bluetooth networks usually are more secure than wireless network and operates over a longer range, such as Wi-Fi. A general rule of thumb in home networking says that Wi-Fi routers reaches up to 150 feet indoors and 350 feet outdoors, and Bluetooth has ranges of about 32 feet. Bluetooth devices automatically detect and connect to one another, and up to 8 of them can communicate at one time. They don't interfere with one another because each pair of devices uses a different one of the 79 available channels. If two devices want to talk, they pick a channel randomly. And if that's already taken, then they randomly switch to one another. A technique known as frequency hopping spread spectrum. Frequency hopping spread spectrum is a method of transmitting radio signals by rapid switching among many frequency channels using a pseudo-random sequence known to both transmitters and receivers. To minimize the risk of interfering from other electronic appliances and to prove security, the pair of devices constantly shift the frequencies they're using thousands of times a second. When a group of 2 or more Bluetooth devices are sharing information together, they kind of form an ad hoc mini-computer network called a piconet. Other devices can join and leave an existing piconet at any time. One device, known as the master, acts as the overall controller of the network, while the other, known as the slave, obeys its instructions. 2 or more separate piconets can join up and share information, forming what's called a scatter net. A scatter net is several interconnected piconets that support communication between more than 8 devices. Scatter net can be formed when a member of one piconet, either the master or the slave, elects to participate as a slave in a second separate piconet. I got another film here on the Bluetooth Global.
Connection. Connection drives innovation. It inspires the doers, creators, and originators who rewrite possibility. And with over 3 billion devices shipped each year, Bluetooth is a true global standard for simple, secure connection. But that doesn't mean the innovation stops. Bluetooth is constantly expanding the way in which things connect. That's how Bluetooth got here. With point-to-point connections, Bluetooth pioneered the wireless audio market, then the connected device market, demonstrating the power of one-to-one communications. With broadcast connections, Bluetooth started the global beacon revolution and demonstrated the strength of one-to-many communications. And now, with mesh connections, Bluetooth is unleashing the incredible potential of many-to-many communications. With mesh, tens, hundreds, or even thousands of devices can now connect to automate homes and businesses, create wireless sensor networks, and track assets on an unprecedented scale. Whether point-to-point, broadcast, or mesh, Bluetooth is creating connections that power innovation, establish new markets, and push the limits of wireless communication worldwide.
Wireless is always less secure than wired communication. Remember how old spy films used to show secret agencies tapping into telephone wires to overhear people's conversations? Cracking wired communication is relatively difficult. Eavesdropping on wireless is much easier because information is zapping back and forth through the open air. All you must do is be in the range of the wireless transmitter to pick up its signal. But wireless internet networks are encrypted to get around these type of problems. How secure is Bluetooth? Like Wi-Fi, communications are encrypted too. You can restrict certain devices so they can talk only to certain other trusted devices. When you designate a Bluetooth device as trusted, your phone automatically unlocks the moment it powers to it. For example, allowing your cell phone to be operated only by your Bluetooth hands-free handset or no one else's. This is called a device level security. You can also restrict the things that different Bluetooth gadgets can do with other using what's called a service level security. Criminals get more sophisticated all the time. You probably heard about blue bugging, people taking over your Bluetooth devices without your knowledge. Bluejacking, where people can send to other people's devices, often for advertising purposes. And blue smurfing, downloading information from someone else's device using a Bluetooth connection. Car whispering is a piece of software that allows hackers to send audio to and receive audio from a Bluetooth-enabled car stereo. Doubtless, there are more ways of hacking into Bluetooth network still to come. Generally though, providing that you take responsibility and sensible precautions. If you use Bluetooth devices in a public place, security shouldn't worry you too much for having Bluetooth security modes. There are two security modes. LE security mode 1 is those levels without signing of data. And LE security mode 2 is those same levels with signing of data, including both pairing and unpaired communication. Signed data can store both negative and positive values, and unsigned data can store only positive values, including zeros. And now there's mixed security mode, in which a device is required to support both security mode 1 and 2, and each supports signals, signed and unsigned data. There are also 4 security levels, appropriately numbered 1 through 4, and 4 being the most secured. Secure level 1 supports communication without secured at all, and applies to any Bluetooth communication, but think of it as applying to never paired communication. Security level 2 supports advanced encryption standard cipher-based message authentication code during communication when devices are separated or unpaired. Security level 3 supports encryption and requires pairing. Wireless devices with Bluetooth radios must be paired with each other before they can communicate. This involves making them discoverable and potentially entering a PIN. The pairing process works with Bluetooth profiles, and each device must be compatible. Security level 4 supports all the bells and whistles, and instead of AES-CMAC for encryption, it uses elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman, which is also a Federal Information Processing Standard compliant. It uses a standard. Security mode 1, security level 4 means that all incoming and outgoing traffic in your Bluetooth devices involve authentication, connection, and encryptions only. To complete the confusing complex, you can run security connection only mode and security 2 instead of 1 to ensure all data is signed. But since the data is encrypted, and more math means more computer power, and more computer power means faster battery drain. So, okay, if you're trying to pair two devices, the security mode, the security mode levels, they just do it themselves. There's no manual settings. Just keep your phone or device up to date with the security patches. Bluetooth has often been quite tricky to use. Like any wireless technology, it's another battery drainer for mobile devices. You can often step out of range, making communication erratic or impossible, and even getting two Bluetooth devices to talk to one another in the first place is always impossible. It's always as simple as it should be. The world of mobile devices is changing as we move toward the so-called Internet of Things, where all kinds of everyday objects become net connected. And Bluetooth must keep evolving to keep up. Recognizing the need to connect to increased ranges and devices more quickly and more security, Bluetooth developers are regularly improving their versions. First, there was a Bluetooth basic rate exchange data rate, technically Bluetooth version 2.1, offering simple connections between devices and better security. Next came Bluetooth high-speed, Bluetooth version 3.0, which offers faster communication and lower power consumption. More recently, we've had Bluetooth Smart or Bluetooth Low Energy, technically referred to as Bluetooth version 4.0 Plus. The versions are getting better at connecting a wide range of simple devices, use much less power, and is much easier to integrate into mobiles, ISOs, and Android applications. Bluetooth 5, released in July 2016, is the latest version of the short-range wireless standard. Bluetooth 5 quadruples the wireless ranges, doubles the speed, and increases the bandwidth to allow for broadcasting two wireless devices at once. These new peripherals will take full advantage of Bluetooth 5 range, bandwidth, and data transfer capabilities. Of course, Bluetooth 5 is backward compatible with previous interactions of the core specification. Ensures your existing speakers, earbuds, wearables, and extras that will work with the new Bluetooth 5 smartphones. The Samsung Galaxy 8 and S8 Plus were the first smartphones to support Bluetooth 5.0. The big improvement with the 5.0 is speed and range. Supported devices can transfer data up to 2 megs, which is twice the speed as Bluetooth 4.2. Let me show you some devices that uses Bluetooth technology that's on the table in front of you in the room. Generally, we see this type of headset on a mobile phone or smartphone. The headset enables you to make or receive the calls on a mobile phone without using any hands and wires. The handsets are paired with the voice recognition, therefore you can dial and talk without accessing your mobile phone. The working of the stereo headset is the same as the traditional headset without using any wires. This type of headset is connected to the music players to hear the music from your mobile or smartphone or using wireless communication. The Bluetooth-equipped printers can print text documents and pictures from any Bluetooth device without using any wires. The August LP205R PowerPoint Clicker 2.4 GHz USB wireless presenter with a red laser pointer for power presentation. It's what I'm giving presentation with. The working of the Bluetooth-enabled webcam is the same as a traditional webcam, but connects wirelessly. They're wired compatible with mobile to the device, unlike traditional webcams, which remain docked into docked onto or near the computer. The Wii Remote, also known as the Wiimote, is the primary controller of the Nintendo Wii console. The Hitachi WF50 Smart Wi-Fi Bluetooth speaker for your boombox experience. Bluetooth-based keyless entry systems. The keyless entry system allows or denies access to a vehicle using signals from a handheld key fob. To receive it, The receiver is installed into the car, which sends a signal to the central locking system to unlock or lock the doors on the receiver and encrypt signal from the transmitter. Lock or unlock. If you subscribe to the GM OnStar service, you can download the OnStar MyLink app and control some features on your car remotely from your phone, Bluetooth. And with the new app, you can unlock your car from your phone if you have locked yourself out, or you can lock it remotely. You can save your parking location to a GPS connected map. If you're parking in a meter, you can set a timer to remind you when you need to put more quarters in. The GPS device with the Bluetooth technology is important into the traditional GPSs. This device communicates through voice recognition. If we speak or mention the address in a GPS, it can provide the directions to the address with voice direction. The Bluetooth keyboard and mouse works without the help of wires connected to the devices to a computer or a laptop. These Bluetooth devices also work with all smartphones. And there's a lot of Bluetooth referrals devices out there. So enjoy your headphones and gamepads and magic wands, and don't worry too much about security. Just keep your master device security patches updated. Thank you.